Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1251. It's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. The first one from Podcastro Valley, Mont for 2017. The last podcast, I called it Start. And I meant many things by calling it that one word. One of them was that my cold was a start.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Ting. And now I've got some weird thing in my nasal cavity, but I don't know
Mike's Daily Podcast.
if it's a cold or allergies. Isn't that a question we all ask when we have to come to task with this thing we call a runny nose? You knows I have to tell you, pantyhose does not look comfortable. Ladies, I feel bad for you.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
If you wear pantyhose, it just does not look at all pleasing. At
Mike's
any rate,
Daily
I
Podcast.
have a segment on today's show. A news segment that will enlighten you. We will call this segment... That's a good name for it. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. You're not going to find a podcast like this anywhere, and that's probably a good thing. I didn't tell you about my Trisha Ferguson Christmas, did I? I had so much fun going over to Trisha Ferguson's house. Trisha Ferguson is the afternoon drive DJ on 92.1 FM KKDV. I sound like Jim Ladd for all you Los Angeles people. Hello, this is Jim Ladd. Tonight I'm going to be playing a lot of Pink Floyd. So put on your headphones and listen to me on KMET, KLOS. Trisha Ferguson on KKDV invited me over. I think I got there late, but that's because my job demanded me to show up and take care of an emergency, even though it was a Christmas day. And, oh, look who just walked in. Not that I'm bitter or anything. Did I mention today is episode 1251? And look who walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing? It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what. What? It sounds like you got a bunch of rabble coming out of your nose.
Standing out here yelling rabble, rabble, rabble isn't going to help anything.
Mark, my horse Nilly wants to lick your nose because it's all weird and stuff. No, that's okay. Don't do that. Yes, people here at Cafe Anyway, I will not let Nilly lick my nose. I think the news segment we're going to do today, we're going to call it Matthew's News. There's some news that happened. And where was I? About the thing with the... Oh, Trisha Ferguson's Christmas party. So I got there late. Oh, look who else just walked in. All these interruptions! Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? And we brought a friend with us. Hello, Mike. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, boy. How's the Earth been? Mike, we've been partying since New Year's Eve day. Yeah, New Year's Eve partying with root beer makes us puke. Do you know that? Oh, that's great. Did a little Irish jig? No, stop that. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Well, I hope you guys don't catch my cold because you're hanging out with me. Yeah, that's really not what we want to do, so we're going to leave day. Yeah, we're out of here. Do you know that? Mark, I'm going to leave too. Bye, I'm taking my horse with me. Okay, wow, they all left me. I feel abandoned. Thanks, Winnie. I mean, Nilly. Winnie the horse is a better name. What I was saying was Trisha Ferguson's party was a lot of fun. I got there. And by the way, I spent New Year's just a few blocks over from where I spent Christmas Day. Isn't that interesting? No? What? Union City. And another coworker from another radio station, Haley. I went to Haley's New Year's Eve party with so many delicious hors d'oeuvres, and we played a fun game called Gestures. Gestures, rather. It's sort of like charades. And Becca was there, and you, Tin Man, and you, Scarecrow, you were there too. It was a lot of fun. I am not taking any medicine for this cold, by the way. This is just how I roll. This is my B-roll, my mic roll. Oh, that'd be a good name for a segment. The mic roll. It'd be kind of like the mic tip.
Yo, the mic tip.
But what happened at Trisha's party was I got there a little late, and I walk in, and everybody's there. Her whole family's there. And I met her younger brother. I've met her husband before, her kids, her wonderful grandmother who came over from Poland in 1950-something. And we ate a lot of delicious potatoes, mashed potatoes, scalloped potatoes. We ate yams. We ate hams. We ate turkey. Then later, Miss Trisha made some delicious pecan pie and nanner pudding.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Fun was had by all. The podcast picture, speaking of the South and nanner pudding, Alabama, I went to there 9 years ago. It'll be 9 years ago. It was around this time, 9 years ago, I went to Alabama with my then wife and my mom. And we went to the Gulf Shores and walked around. I think they call it Orange Beach, that general vicinity. And I saw this strange picture, this strange sight of these old piers of some sort sitting up there. It almost looks like this picture could have been taken in Hawaii, but it was taken in Alabama. So riddle me that, my friend. So I talked on the last show to Irene Pena, and I got some response back about the show. One of the responses I got was from YouTube, who happily dinged me for playing one of her songs, so I had to remove the song from YouTube. So it's part of the reason why I don't have bands on my show anymore. Irene Pena is always welcome. She's one of the few that's always welcome, because I just hate the headache of dealing with YouTube over this stuff. It's ridiculous. So, but Irene Pena, she commented on Facebook, Mike, I feel bad about the Bluetooth speaker causing the extra echo during our interview. Do not worry about it, Irene Pena. To the average listener, it was as if we were doing the interview in a football stadium. And how cool is that, being all the football that was watched? I even watched some football yesterday with Jesse the Bear. That's a Northern Exposure reference. My nose is leaking. I'm trying to shove the paper in there to stop the flow. It's not working. Jesse is actually my ex-wife's brother, and we're still friends. He does the voice of Clem. We didn't do a little Clem session, Clem segment, though, so no Clem to bring you today. But he and I watched the end of the Rose Bowl, which was exciting. Was it USC and Penn State? Something like that. And then we switched over to the Sugar Bowl, which was the wonderful Oklahoma and Auburn. Speaking of Alabama. So, then we watched a little bit of that, and then I felt the weight of my sinus issues starting to take over, and the fact that I was going to have to get up at 4 in the morning. So I got out of there. But we had a lot of fun. And so it made my holidays. All the cool people I saw made my holidays. So 2016 ended very well. Thank you to Trisha Ferguson, Haley the Semi, and Jesse. And now... Oh, before we get to the segment known as Matthew's News, I wanted to quickly tell you that I have a website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. It's a lot of fun. If you have not been there, it's got all the past podcast pictures. You can listen to past shows. I figured out a way to kind of archive everything. And you can help support the show. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, use some of those Amazon gift certificates you got during the Christmas holiday. go through that Amazon link at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, and that helps us out a little bit. That's very cool if you do that. There's also the PayPal there. If you'd like to help support us that way, you'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And there's past podcast pictures and some of the past interviews that I did. All there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Matthews News.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Awesome.
It did not end well in 2016. We lost Carrie Fisher and then lost Debbie Reynolds, her mother. And after a sudden passing of those two actresses, Carrie Fisher and her mom, Debbie Reynolds, the Scream Queen star, known as Billie Lourd, took to Instagram. This was Monday morning to share a heartbreaking, sweet photo and a message with the world. Quote, receiving all of your prayers and kind words over the past week has given me the strength during a time I thought a strength could not exist, said the 24-year-old. There are no words to express how much I will miss my Abba Dabba and my one and only Mombi. Your love and support means the world to me. And she had a picture of her with Debbie Reynolds and her mom, Carrie Fisher, back. This looks like this picture was taken back in the 80s. And the Instagram photo, and she's sticking out her tongue at the camera. Fisher died at age 60 on December 27th, days after going into cardiac arrest aboard a Los Angeles-bound flight from London. The following day, Debbie Reynolds died from a suspected stroke at 84 years old. Lord has always been candid about her close relationship with her iconic mother and grandmother. Just a few weeks ago, the blonde beauty stopped by late night with Seth Meyers and shared details about their family dynamic as three generations of actresses. Quote, first of all, she gets really upset when I am called Carrie Fisher's daughter. She wants people to call me Debbie Reynolds' granddaughter. It's very offensive to her. She does not like, she joked to Myers of her grandmother. Quote, she does not like to be cut out, not at all. She started it. It's her fault that I'm an actress. Lord, who's been starring as Chanel number 3 for the past 2 seasons in the Fox comedy The Scream Queens. I don't watch the show, so I don't really know, but I think I caught a little bit of the first episode of the new season. And, what's her name was in it? Jamie Lee Curtis. And there were some funny lines in there. They were like, yeah, and Jerry Seinfeld has gotten so offensive in his old age, which was a total joke. And then she made her film debut as Lieutenant Connix opposite her mother's Princess Leia in the Star Wars The Force Awakens. And welcome back, Katie Couric. In the beginning of 2017, it's a throwback to the 90s on Today. She, who co-anchored the morning show from 91 to 2006, The Today Show, returned to fill in for Savannah Guthrie, who's on maternity leave after welcoming her second child's son, Charlie, last month. The 59-year-old TV personality who looks fabulous will be hosting the show all week, took her place at the anchor desk alongside longtime co-host Matt Lauer. Welcome back to Studio 1A, January 1997, apparently, Matt Lauer joked. Haha! By the way, Kathy Griffin and Anderson Cooper on CNN, I watched like 5 minutes of it. I laughed the entire time. Kathy Griffin doing her, machine gun delivery on all these name droppings all over the place. Watch where you step. And she and Anderson Cooper just laughing like a little baby panda bear. Oh, so fun. I'm like, I want the podcast of this. Katie Couric said, it just feels like I never left, adding that the side of the desk was still a pigsty, while Lauer's setup was all neat and tidy. The duo shared a clip of themselves on Lauer's first day on the job back in 97, with Couric joking that they had the same hairdo. And, of course, Matt has shaved head. Now, Couric had some fun upon her return, even joining in an a cappella rendition of Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody out in Rockefeller Plaza. She's doing a podcast now. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. I don't know if I'm going to be worse or better next podcast. I think you should tune in to find out. I may not even do a podcast. We'll see how I'm feeling, but thank you for tuning into this podcast. Next show, we'll have Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Be good to your friends, because your friends are the ones that will be there for you. In the dark days of the holidays, they will make them bright and shine like a diamond.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!